Love isn't always loud. It doesn't always come wrapped in perfect words or romantic declarations. Sometimes, love is quiet, a soft presence that stays beside you, a heartbeat that never asks for attention, and a devotion that doesn't know how to speak, but feels everything deeply. There are people in this world who love with actions instead of phrases. They struggle to say, "I love you," not because they don't feel it, but because the emotions inside them are too big, too overwhelming, and too sacred to put into simple sentences. They believe love should be shown, not advertised. They love through gestures, the kind most people would overlook, but you feel them anyway. Maybe he's like that. Maybe he's the kind of man who doesn't talk a lot about his feelings, but his heart reveals itself in the small, everyday moments. The way he shows up when you're tired. The way he gets protective when you walk in the dark. The way his mood shifts when you're upset. The way his eyes soften when he looks at you, like you're the one thing in the world he can't lose. Love doesn't always knock loudly. Sometimes, it's the hand that holds yours when life gets rough. It's the message that says, "Do you reach home yet?" Or the way he waits impatiently for your reply, but pretends he isn't checking his phone every 2 minutes. Maybe you've wondered if he feels the same way you do, if his heart beats a little faster when you walk into the room. Maybe you've noticed how he pays attention to the details of your life, how he remembers your stories better than you do, and how his silence is somehow full of affection. You see, words can be confusing. They can be faked, but actions are honest. Actions reveal the truth that fear often tries to hide. If a man loves you but can't say it, he won't confess his heart with a speech. Instead, he'll confess it with his behavior. Because real love is not measured by how beautifully someone speaks about you, but by how consistently they show up for you. So if you ever find yourself doubting his feelings, slow down. Look a little closer. Notice the things he does without ever drawing attention to himself. Notice the efforts he makes that no one else sees. Notice the care he offers without expecting anything back. This video is for you. For the person who wonders if they are truly loved. For the heart that wants reassurance, but also knows love is not always spoken. Today, we're going to reveal the 15 hidden signs that prove his heart already belongs to you, even if he can't find the courage to say the words out loud. Pay attention, because love is already there. You just need to learn how to see it. 1. He prioritizes you even when he doesn't mention it. When a man loves you but struggles to say it, his actions reveal the truth long before his words ever could. He might not openly announce that you're important, but you'll constantly find yourself in the center of his decisions. He adjusts his plans around your comfort, makes time for you even on his busiest days, and pays attention to what you like and dislike. He chooses to stand with you when you need support and steps back when he knows you need space. That balance is love. He remembers your schedule, checks if you've eaten, worries when you seem stressed, and celebrates your achievements like they're his own. He may not be a poet with words, but he will always show up where it matters. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet choosing of you, over and over again. 2. He remembers tiny details you forgot you shared. One of the strongest signs of hidden love shows up in memory, specifically, his memory of you. You might mention something casually, like your favorite childhood candy, a fear you never admitted to anyone, or a dream you're scared to chase. And weeks later, he brings it up as if it was the most important thing he's ever heard. Men don't remember random details unless they care deeply. His mind holds onto every piece of you. Your favorite colors, the name of your best friend, the date of your exam, the way you take your coffee, or that song you said makes you feel safe. He notices how you change your hairstyle, or when you wear your favorite earrings. These tiny details become his treasure because you are. He doesn't just listen, he absorbs you. That's not attention, that's emotional attachment. 3. Gets worried when you don't text back. Love often hides inside worry. When someone's heart is invested, silence feels loud. If you take longer to reply, he starts checking his phone more often, wondering if you're okay, if you're upset, or if he said something wrong. He won't always admit it, but that worry shows how much he values your presence in his life. He might send a small "Are you okay?" or pretend he's asking something casual. But inside, he's anxious because he misses your conversation. The thought of losing contact with you scares him more than he will ever say. He tries to stay calm so he doesn't seem clingy, but his heart races until he sees your message again. When a man's peace depends on whether or not you're fine, his feelings run deeper than words can express. For he listens with his heart, not just his ears. There's a special kind of love in the way he pays attention to your emotions. When you talk, he isn't just waiting for his turn to speak. He is fully present. He notices the change in your voice, the hesitation in your words, the things you avoid saying, and even the pain you try to hide behind a smile. He remembers how you feel, not just what you say. He listens to understand you, not to correct or judge. And when you're hurting, he doesn't rush to offer solutions. He simply stays, letting you know you're not alone. This kind of listening comes from a place of care, where your emotions matter to him as much as his own. He listens because your heart speaks to him in a language he never wants to forget. 5. He protects you in small, quiet ways. Real love doesn't always show up as grand gestures. Sometimes it's as simple as walking on the traffic side of the road, holding your hand in a crowd, or making sure you reach home safely. He notices when you're uncomfortable and steps in before you even ask for help. He stands up for you when someone disrespects you in calm situations so you don't get stressed. He checks that you're warm enough, reminds you to rest, and would rather take the pain himself than watch you suffer. His protective nature is not about control. It's about care. He wants to be the person who makes you feel safe in a world that often isn't. When a man silently shields you from harm, even when he gets nothing in return, that is love expressed without a single word. 6. He helps you without you even asking. Love can be seen most clearly in effort, especially the effort no one tells him to make. He notices when you're overwhelmed and steps in, whether it's carrying something heavy, fixing something broken, solving a problem you didn't mention, or simply saying, "Let me do it." He doesn't wait for you to explain what you need. He figures it out by reading your tired eyes or your sighs after a long day. His help isn't about showing off. It's about easing your burden so you can breathe a little easier. He wants your life to be lighter, your smile to be easier, your day to be softer. That silent support, where he takes action because he cares, is one of the purest forms of love. Helping you isn't a favor to him. It's his instinct. 7. He tries to improve himself because of you. When a man loves you quietly, he begins transforming in ways he never expected. He pays attention to the things you admire, the behaviors you value, and the strengths you believe he has, even when he doubts himself. He works on his flaws, not because you ask him to, but because he wants to become someone you're proud to stand beside. He starts taking better care of himself, becomes more responsible, or pushes harder toward his goals. You inspire him to do better, not through pressure, but through love. He listens when you give advice. He remembers when you encourage him, and he refuses to give up because you believe in him. In his eyes, you represent the best version of his future, so he moves closer to it day by day. Improvement becomes his love language, silent, steady, and devoted. 8. He gets jealous but stays silent about it. Jealousy is one of the strongest signs of a hidden attachment. When someone else gets too close to you, his smile may stay, but his heart races. He becomes quieter, more observant, and his eyes follow every detail. He won't start arguments or act possessive. He respects you too much for that. But deep inside, he fears losing the place he holds in your heart. He might ask subtle questions about a guy you mentioned, or his tone may shift just slightly. He tries to hide his jealousy because he doesn't want to appear insecure, and he doesn't want to push you away. But the truth is simple. The thought of another man making you happy scares him. Silent jealousy is love without confidence, but full of hope. 9. He supports your dreams more than his own. Love isn't just about being there. It's about lifting you higher than you could climb alone. He becomes the person cheering the loudest when you chase your goals. He pushes you to believe in yourself even when fear tries to stop you. He celebrates your courage, reminds you of your strength, and stands with you even when the world doubts your path. He sacrifices his comfort so you can follow your passion. If you have to study late, he won't complain. If you have a big day ahead, he checks in early. If you want to grow, he becomes your biggest motivation. He wants your future to shine, even if he stays behind the spotlight. The man who places your dreams above his convenience isn't doing you a favor. He's loving you in one of the purest ways a heart can. 10. He stands by you during your hardest days. Love isn't proven on the easy days. It's revealed when everything feels heavy. When life tests you, he becomes the person who refuses to leave. He doesn't try to fix everything or force positivity. He simply stays, offering his presence like a shelter. He listens to your pain without judgment, wipes your tears without making you feel weak, and holds space for every emotion you're scared to show others. He doesn't run when the world gets dark around you. Instead, he becomes the light that guides you through it. On your worst days, he reminds you that you are not alone. He sees the strength you forget you have and keeps believing in you until you believe again. A man who stays in your storm is the one who truly loves you, quietly, deeply, and unconditionally. 11. He notices your mood changes instantly. Someone who loves you silently learns your emotional language better than you do. He notices the shift in your eyes when sadness appears, the way your tone changes when you're uncomfortable, and the silence you keep when something is bothering you. Even if you say, "I'm fine," he knows you're not, because he listens to what your heart says, not your words. He'll ask if you're okay, bring you comfort food, sit beside you quietly, or try to make you laugh, anything to bring you back to peace. Your emotions matter to him so deeply that he feels them like they're his own. He doesn't need explanations. One glance at you is enough. That sensitivity comes from love, the kind that pays attention even when you're trying to hide how you feel. 12. He opens up to you more than anyone else. Men aren't always good at expressing their emotions. They've been taught to stay strong, to hide their fears, to never appear vulnerable. But if he opens up to you, telling you his past, his wounds, his insecurities, his hopes, it means you have touched a part of him no one else could reach. He trusts you with the pieces of himself he usually protects, because he knows you won't use his vulnerabilities against him. He shares his victories with you because your happiness matters to him, and he shares his worries because your presence makes him feel safe. With you, he doesn't feel the need to pretend. He can simply be himself. Vulnerability is his confession of love, spoken through truth he never dared to speak before. 18. He celebrates your wins like they're his own. When a man truly loves you, your happiness becomes his happiness. Even if he's tired, stressed, or dealing with his own battles, he lights up when something good happens to you. He brags about your accomplishments to others, claps the loudest when you succeed, and tells you how proud he is, not because he has to, but because he genuinely is. He doesn't feel jealous or overshadowed by your progress. Instead, he sees your success as something beautiful that he gets to witness up close. He wants you to rise higher, shine brighter, and reach places you once feared. He may not express love through grand gestures, but through excitement that radiates from his face when you achieve something, even the small things. A man who celebrates you with pure joy has already given you a piece of his heart. 14. He makes time for you even when he's busy. Time is one of the most valuable gifts a person can give, and when a man gives it to you despite a packed schedule, it speaks louder than an "I love you." He may be tired after work, but he still checks on you. He may have deadlines, but he still finds a moment to hear your voice. Even if he can't stay long, he makes sure you never feel forgotten. Love isn't about having free time, it's about making time. He doesn't treat you as an option. You are a priority threaded into his everyday life. He wants to be present for you, to hear about your day, and to remind you that you matter. When someone chooses you over convenience, that's the kind of care that words could never fully express. 15. He looks at you like you're his safe place. There's a different kind of softness in the eyes of a man who loves you, a quiet peace that appears when he looks at you. You make him feel calm in a world that constantly demands strength. He doesn't feel judged around you. He feels understood. His eyes search for you in a room full of people, not out of habit but out of comfort. You are the place where his heart rests, where he doesn't have to pretend or be perfect. When he's lost, he finds direction in your presence. When he's anxious, he finds peace in your smile. You are not just someone he likes. You are his emotional home. And sometimes, Love speaks loudest not through words, but through the gaze that says, "I'm safe with you."